Did you feel any kind of pressure like that?
I did, especially at the county level. This was my last year I could run at county before I aged out. And then up at state, both of my sisters also got second runner up. So not only did I have to get county queen, I needed to perform very well at state.
Hello and welcome to Illinois Corn. I'm your host, Shane Gray. Today, we have the privilege of being joined by some Illinois royalty by the name of Krista Phillips. Krista is a 2002 graduate of Effingham High School, currently a student at the University of Illinois, has in her past been the 2025 Effingham County Fair Queen, and currently holds the title of 2026 Illinois County Fair Queen. Welcome to our show, Krista.
Thank you. I'm very excited to be here and speak with you today.
Yeah, I mean, rarely do I have the opportunity to speak to royalty, so this is exciting to me. And one of the things, just to kind of start off here, I see the crown you have on. I don't know how you get that to stay on your head the way you do and keep it perfectly straight. Would you have any advice for someone like myself if I had to wear a crown like that?
Well, first off, it helps to have a little bit of hair on top of your head. It has to have some clip.
Okay, all right, that definitely would help.
So you just do clip
Now,
it on. I forget it's there a lot of the time. So going in and out of my car, I have to make sure not to bump it on anything.
that would definitely be a hazard.
That's for sure.
Absolutely. Hey, one of the things, as we started to do a little bit of research about this title that you currently hold, um, I realized, or I didn't realize, that it played so much into the idea of being an Illinois Fair Queen or whatever it may be, that there was such a tie to agriculture with this particular title. Can you explain how that kind of works a little bit?
Yes, of course. So, as Miss Illinois County Fair Queen, I'm actually an ambassador for agriculture in the state of Illinois. So, throughout the summer, I will be employed by the Department of Agriculture, and I'll be able to go and travel to all the different county fairs I can, attend their pageants, and just be able to talk with community members about agriculture, and then just visit a lot of different events throughout the year as well. Yesterday, I was at Agriculture Legislative Day at the Capitol in Springfield. So that was just an amazing experience. I got to speak about agriculture in my own life. And then I also got to meet a lot of FFA members and legislators that are very passionate about ag and just the future of what we can do with ag in the future.
It's excellent that you mentioned that. The Ag Day is an event that we attend as well. And you mentioned the FFA students, and one of the things when I have the privilege of friends who have family members who have won these pageants, or just speaking to you and then speaking to FFA members, I have never met a better group of young people they network better than anybody I've ever seen. And the same with you. You're so well spoken. Um, how do you what do you attest to, having such a network of speaking and the ability to communicate the way you all do?
Well, first, thank you. I appreciate that. And I definitely see the same thing when I was networking with all of the FFA members yesterday. They are very professional. And I think just the program in itself, and especially just doing pageants for me personally, I think just that exposure to different situations, different events, and just knowing what you're passionate about and catering that, it's easy to talk about something that you're very passionate about. And so just really focusing on that with the students and then teaching them better ways on how to for example, talk with legislators like they did yesterday, or for me, speaking and addressing large crowds. So I think just putting us up front and having those experiences definitely helps. And you can see everybody's doing such a great job, and it really does help from a young age.
I would agree. And, anytime that we've set in on the legislative meetings with FFA students, many times we just kind of take a back seat and they
Yes.
just kind of take over the meeting. And I've just always been impressed with individuals like yourself who communicate. Maybe are a little nervous. I don't know, but you definitely don't show it. You guys do an excellent job. So, and with that, I would think personally, to put yourself out there like contestants do in these types of competitions, takes a lot of nerve. So, what inspired you to kind of go down this road of being a leader or a speaker or an advocate for competitions like the ones you have won, or even the ideas of an agriculture?
I have two older sisters, and both of them did pageants before I was in pageants. So they're both past
Oh,
Miss Effingham County Fair Queens. So just being able to watch their reign, I knew I loved pageants and just the whole idea of dressing up and being on stage just from a young age. But then whenever they were actually in pageants and got crowned queens, I got to see that there's so much more behind it. And just being on stage or smiling in front of crowds is just like a very tiny little part of it. There's actually so much communication, networking, like we mentioned, and just advocating for agriculture that goes on
right.
with the queenhood. And so that ultimately inspired me to run for a county level. And then all the county queens compete at state. So I got the opportunity to compete at state, and that was just amazing in itself. So many amazing county fair queens there that I got to meet with and really connect with. And I'm excited to see them all this summer as well. And then, of course, as I
Excellent.
got crowned Miss Illinois County Fair Queen, it was such a blessing. I've really loved having this role, and I wanted to see in what ways I could really expand upon and help the community more. And I think this platform is perfect in order to help me do that.
Great deal. It sounds like maybe you had a couple really good
For
mentors
sure,
in
for
your older
sure.
sisters, but there had to be a little bit of pressure knowing that, okay, my 2 older sisters have done this and won this. Now it's my turn. Did you feel any kind of pressure like that?
I did, especially at the county level. This was my last year I could run at county before I aged out. And then up at state, both of my sisters also got second runner up. So not only did I have to get county queen, I needed to perform very well at state, which lucky for me, I did want the crown. And I was very passionate and I just put my best foot
Right.
forward. And so ultimately it helped and it ended up well for me. And I think it's really cool just to
Yeah.
be able to share this experience with my sisters as well and my whole family. They're very supportive and they've definitely helped me prepare for this role and ultimately make it my dreams come true.
What was one of the biggest challenges that you found in being in these competitions?
One of the biggest challenges is just finding the confidence in myself. So I ran for 3 years of county before winning and then competing at state. So the very first year I ran in a pageant, I didn't really have that confidence in myself. I was very poised on stage, but I just didn't feel truly confident, and I think that really impacted my performance, and so 3 years later, I learned a lot about myself, had a lot more life experiences. I've been in college, have experienced different things within the agriculture world as well, and so now I feel like I really am confident in everything that I'm doing, and I'm able to just be my genuine self. I think that's something that's helped me a lot in order to calm my nerves, is just knowing that I am who I am, and so I just need to show other people
Yeah.
that, and that's ultimately what people love.
What does agriculture mean to you by representing, not only the county you're from, but also, wearing the crown?
Agriculture is just a way of life for all of us, and I think just as by being queen, there's a lot of different ways that agriculture affects us, whether we realize it or not. My grandparents are also local farmers, so just having their small farm down the road from my house was just amazing to go down and kind of
Right.
experience that growing up. Even though my household family weren't farmers ourselves, we still had chickens, we still had gardens, and we still felt the impact of agriculture, especially from like central southernish Illinois of Effingham. You can see there's fields everywhere, so you can't really avoid agriculture no matter how hard you try. And so I just think that's something amazing. It's a great reminder, and it makes me very thankful to be in Illinois where we get to see the presence of agriculture in our lives and just how that can affect all of us. And I think it's also interesting coming up to school in Champaign at the University of Illinois. There's a lot of students that are from Chicago, and so they don't have a lot of experience with agriculture. Some of them haven't even been to their fairs, don't even know they have a fair. And so that's a whole new way that I can share my experiences with them and really encourage them to learn more about agriculture or go to their fairs. So I think just being at college has been a great way to help me expand upon my love of agriculture.
I think that's great, and I know, uh, anybody who not only as a candidate runs for a position that maybe you currently hold right now, or now that you're gonna be touring around the state to all the county fairs, is there any particular issue that you will be advocating for or trying to, just trying to educate people more about?
First off, like I mentioned, just educating everybody about county fairs. But then I am really passionate just about education in general. My mom and sister are both teachers, and my mom specifically, she teaches kindergarten. And every week they have an ag in the classroom lady come into their schools. And just seeing the kids when I visit there, just like interact with her and learn so much about agriculture that they might not have learned at home. I think just starting education of agriculture from a very young age is something that I'm very passionate about. So as I tour all these different county fairs, first of all, talking with the farmers and learning from their expertise, hearing their stories, but then passing that on to the younger generations as well, because they will be the farmers of the future.
How do you maybe connect with those people that grow up differently from the way you or I maybe grew up in this world today?
I think it's really important just to hear how they did grow up, learn their background, learn their story, and just hear their different opinions and attitudes. And then in turn, share everything I believe in as well, because I think it's really important to hear everybody's different beliefs because you can't change your own beliefs if you don't know what else is out there. And so just being able to educate people back to that whole education piece, it's very important in every single aspect of life and just relationships. And so I think that's definitely helped me a lot. Even just them knowing that I'm queen, that's something that a lot of people didn't really know about, that there was an Illinois County Fair queen. And so just being able to educate them about that whole process triggers the conversation about county fairs and then about agriculture and so on and so forth. And so I really hope that by people knowing me and realizing that I hold this title, that they'll be then interested and curious about learning more.
Not to be corny, but what makes a county fair queen such a good ambassador for agriculture? Any idea?
Go for it.
Okay. We like to say because you can harvest attention and plant curiosity all at the same time, no matter where you go.
I love that
So
answer.
not bad, right?
Yeah.
I almost felt like that was somewhat of a compliment more so
Yeah.
than a
That
joke.
was really sweet. I like that.
So yeah. Hey, it's been a pleasure having you here on Illinois Corn TV. And Krista, I want to wish you the best of luck at the University of Illinois and wish you the best of luck with advocating for all of the issues that you are so passionate about. So good luck with that. And thank you for being here with us today.
Thank you. I appreciate it.